Season 2024 of America's Got Talent has delivered some of the funniest and most entertaining moments we've ever seen. From unexpected auditions to hilarious judge reactions, the show has kept us laughing from start to finish. Let's take a look at some of the absolute funniest moments from this season that had the audience and judges in stitches. One of the first laugh-out-loud moments of the season came during an audition by a self-proclaimed magician who had absolutely no clue what he was doing. He walked on stage with an air of confidence, ready to perform what he called an incredible magic trick. But things quickly went south. The trick, which involved pulling scarves out of his sleeves, ended in disaster as he fumbled and got tangled in the scarves. His attempt to wow the judges turned into an unintentional comedy routine, and even the judges couldn't hold back their laughter. Howie Mandel was practically in tears, saying, "Well, you definitely disappeared right into your own mistake." Then, there was the man who tried to showcase his unique dance moves. He had all the enthusiasm in the world, but unfortunately, his moves were more awkward than impressive. He attempted to perform a robot dance that quickly turned into a series of bizarre, stiff movements that made the audience burst into laughter. It was clear he was giving it his all, but his lack of rhythm and precision had the judges in hysterics. Sofia Vergara jokingly asked, "Is this a new kind of dance? Because I haven't seen anything like it before." It was one of those moments where the audience couldn't decide whether to laugh or cheer for his effort. Another hilarious moment involved a man who claimed to be the world's strongest comedian. He didn't just tell jokes, he lifted heavy objects while cracking one-liners. The judges were skeptical at first, but as he lifted a large dumbbell while telling a series of jokes, the comedic timing was perfect. At one point, he tried to lift his sofa while shouting, "This is how I do cardio." His physical comedy, paired with his punchlines, had the entire room in stitches. Even Heidi Klum couldn't stop giggling, saying, "I think you've just created a whole new genre, stand-up lifting." But perhaps the funniest moment of the season came during an audition by a young girl who had a passion for impersonations. She promised to impersonate a series of celebrities, and the judges were intrigued. What no one expected was her spot-on impersonation of Judge Simon Cowell. She nailed his iconic look and even mimicked his signature facial expressions. Simon himself was so impressed that he couldn't help but laugh, giving her an enthusiastic "yes" and jokingly saying, "You're hired. But you need to work on your hairline." The audience was in an uproar, and it was clear that this young impersonator had a bright future ahead, not just in comedy but in impersonations too. Then, there was the elderly couple who performed a comedic sketch that left everyone in stitches. The pair entered the stage with a simple setup, just 2 chairs and a giant box. Their act started out innocently enough, but quickly spiraled into absurdity as they began to play out an exaggerated spy thriller, complete with dramatic gestures and over-the-top accents. At one point, the husband even wore a fake mustache, and the wife tried to make a dramatic escape, only to trip over her own shoes. The judges couldn't contain their laughter, and neither could the audience. It was one of those heartwarming, hilarious performances that reminded us that humor has no age limit. And let's not forget the unique duo who combined stand-up comedy with ventriloquism, but with a twist. Their ventriloquist puppet was an inflatable, and it kept falling apart during their performance. As the puppet spoke, it would randomly deflate, causing the comedian to have to reinflate it while continuing the routine. It was an unpredictable disaster, but also hilarious, as the audience and judges laughed at the ridiculousness of the whole situation. It was clear that even if the act didn't go perfectly, it was still one of the funniest moments of the season. Throughout the season, America's Got Talent has reminded us why comedy is so important. It brings people together, lightens the mood, and creates unforgettable moments. The 2024 season is filled with comedians, performers, and acts that weren't just aiming for the spotlight, but to make us laugh, sometimes with the help of a little chaos and a lot of heart. These funny, unscripted moments prove that anything can happen on America's Got Talent. Whether it's an accidental fail or a perfectly timed punchline, one thing's for sure, this season is filled with comedy gold. The hilarious auditions, unpredictable performances, and genuine moments of laughter have made America's Got Talent 2024 one of the funniest seasons yet.